Oh boy, I had to take a quick shower for this crazy Q&A, right? First one on the channel. What? Let's get it started. Hopefully I'm not gonna fall. Shit. So we wanted to film outside. Bogdan have been helping me, but this guy here is ruining everything. Like literally, now he stopped. I have to move in my room. Okay, so finally I've set up the camera in my room where I should have put it in the first place, because I wasted like 1 hour trying to put it outside. Long story short, it didn't work. So I'm gonna get straight into it because I don't have very much time. I think I'm gonna make it as clear as possible with as less cuts as possible. So yeah, it doesn't seem fake, because it is. What? So, first question is, what's your next big goal, fitness-wise? Please no jokes about calves. Okay, so, I think this question has been addressed to me because lately, let's say the last 2 months, maybe less, I didn't accord that much attention and focus to my fitness. And that doesn't mean I went all partying and didn't go to the gym at all and ate all crap and shit. No, it means that I didn't really go that extra mile that I used to go, maybe during prep. I think it was a bit visible on my social media as well, especially on Instagram. And what I mean is, instead of going to the gym 6 times a week, maybe I went 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 2 times. It really was. It wasn't consistent, right? I had days when I was eating 4,000 calories, other days when I was eating 1,500 calories and so on. My sleep wasn't as good as it should be to make gains, and yeah, that's it. So now the question is, the next big goal, fitness-wise, I would say it's a first place. Obviously, that's a big goal, not because I got second place this year. I want to get the first place, but I was actually thinking to do a natural show. I'm not sure if it's gonna be next year or the year after, but that is for sure the next big goal. Okay, next question. Do you ever feel like you will never be happy the way you look, such as you'll never be as big as you want or as shredded? Basically, do you feel like you are chasing a physique that you will never be able to achieve? I feel like that sometimes. Now, this is a very, very good question. I think it applies to everyone that gets into fitness and take it seriously. I mean, everyone at some point gets to that level of, let's say, they look good, right? They look good naked, they are fairly lean, they are not as skinny as they used to be before getting into this whole fitness industry. Now, referring to satisfaction, I don't think it's humanly possible to be fully satisfied with anything. And being satisfied with your physique would personally demotivate me a lot. Like, if I was to be very satisfied now, I wouldn't go to the gym today or tomorrow. Like, what's the point, right? What are you trying to chase if you're already there? So no, I'll probably never be satisfied. I think it's a matter of perspective. You might find that sad, you might find that unhealthy, but it's a matter of perspective, as I said again. If you are trying to get better and better every single day, you should never feel satisfied. Christian Guzman himself says, be proud but never satisfied. So I hope that answered your question. Never be satisfied with where you're at, but keep it healthy. Next one is thoughts on fitness brands and whether it's an oversaturated market to start now. Honest thoughts. Honestly speaking, I think it's fairly saturated. Like, at least the last 3 years have been very saturated. Let's take a look at career-wise, right? You can mainly become a personal trainer. Like, this is the main and most easy career path to follow. I think that if you look at the data, if you look at statistics, like let's say 2010, like 8 years ago, and you compare that to today, 2018, and you look how many personal trainers were around at that time and how many are around now, there's a big change, like maybe more than 100% of an increase in terms of personal trainers. But again, I think that that's mainly because the whole industry got bigger and bigger. It was especially because of the whole Instagram, the whole YouTube thing. Everybody started promoting it everywhere, which means that it's getting bigger day by day. So you could say that it's oversaturated if you compare it to like a couple of years ago, but if you compare it to now, to the amount of opportunities that are out there, I don't think it's oversaturated. Let's be honest. I mean, that's my personal opinion. If you really want to succeed in this industry right now, I think you can make it if you're really serious about it. Because let's be honest, how many personal trainers out there have no fucking clue what they are doing, and they are basically wasting their time and their clients' time and health. So yeah, I don't think it's an oversaturated market personally. Okay, let's move on. Next question: what's your motivation now? As you said, it's a one shot. I didn't have time to think about the question or the answer. But if I was to keep it short, the most motivated thing might sound cliche or not. I think it's the opportunity to be alive. Like, yeah, it sounds cliche, but just think about the chances of me being here recording this video in this particular room in London today. Like, what are the chances for this to happen? If you know a little bit about the universe and how everything came up, how everything developed and adapt, the chances of me being here, of you watching this video right now, are very, very small. So I think this is the biggest motivation, to be honest. Like, we all got one life, one shot. We might be in a simulation, we might not be. We have no idea what's going to happen after we die. So I think that should be the biggest motivation. If you don't have a purpose, if you don't find a purpose and the meaning to life, then yeah, man, I don't know, it should suck. It should really suck, really. Okay, another one, and this I don't think it's that serious. Does masturbation affect your gains? Now, I remember back in the day when I started lifting, I remember that I was actually searching for this particular question on a couple of websites because I was very, very, very worried about my progress in the gym, because like anybody else, 18, 19 years old, I used to masturbate, right? I used to masturbate, right? Let's be honest, everybody does. It's something natural. So I think that as long as you are not obsessed with it, and as long as you don't do it like very frequently, and as long as you don't do it, let's say, before or after your workout, I don't think it has any bad effects. In fact, I think it has some advantages, let's say, in terms of stress relief and hormonal levels. I don't want to go very into details because I didn't research this topic, but all I know, and being both objective and subjective, I think it doesn't affect your gains. But just don't get crazy about it. Okay. Now another interesting question, I'd say, is how was your sex drive during prep? Were you able to get a boner? Now, very honestly speaking, this year I didn't have the opportunity to test this out, right? I didn't try to have sex during prep. There are many reasons about it, but I can talk about the last prep when I actually tried. I remember I was like, let's think, I think it was either 4 weeks or 5 weeks out, but do keep in mind that I was not as lean as I was this year 4 weeks out. So I was about, I'd say 10% body fat, and I remember having great sex. I didn't have any problem at all. I mean, there was a mental problem, because I was actually inducing that thought to myself, and it clearly affected me in first place. Like I started to think about it, and I induced that feeling that I won't be able to do it, but it actually worked quite well. So I think that it really depends on many things. There are a lot of variables, but I think the most important thing is try to maintain a decent testosterone level. Testosterone levels during prep are most affected by the quality of your sleep, and this is pure subjective. This always applies for me. If I don't get enough sleep, if I don't get high quality sleep, my testosterone is going to be affected massively. So yeah. Okay, so I actually got two more questions to answer. One is a bit more complex and the other one I think it's more straightforward, so I answer that one first. What do you do on a daily basis to improve yourself? Now, I think this has to do a lot with habits and with routines, because just think about it. What you do every single day adds up into the long term. And if you don't do something consistently enough, you won't be able to make progress. And that's very clear, I think. I hope for all of you that are watching now. What I can't say that I do, I probably do maximum 5 things on a daily basis, on purpose, consciously. Because I might have days when I wake up at 5, which is very productive. Other days, like today, I wake up at 9. Forgot to put my alarm on, no excuses. Anyways, it really depends on the day, but I think that the things that I try to do the most is listen to at least one podcast a day. I'll list some podcasts that I usually listen to here, so you can give them a try. Now, another thing I try to do every day, I don't do it every day, I'd say I do it 4 or 5 days a week, it's try to meditate. I talked about this in my last vlog, I'm gonna briefly resume it now. Basically, when you start meditating, it seems like you are doing nothing, you can't understand the process, you don't know if you are actually wasting your time or not. I mean, this was me in first place a couple of months back. Now, for example, in the morning I was meditating and I actually realized that I started to be more present during the day, and that's thanks to meditation, because I have moments when I just pause. Like, let's say I'm on a bus, I'm on a train, whatever, I'm doing something, I'm at work, anywhere, and I just pause for a moment, and not completely stop, because that would be awkward, but I just pause my mind for a moment, I stop wondering about anything whatsoever, and I just try to be present and to be grateful for whatever is happening around me. And I think that is helping my mental state most of all, and it's helping my motivation as well, I'd say, because if you're grateful day in and day out, man, you cannot be demotivated. So yeah, so podcast first, meditation would be second, and obviously I'm trying to train as frequent as possible, 3, 4, 5 times a week. Usually if I have a very busy day, I'll try to train in the morning. Even if I don't have the same performance, I just try to get it done and get my day started with a good mindset, with a good workout. I think that helps me massively. Another thing which is very, very useful, and I've been using this this concept for the past year or so, is try to think about your day in advance. Maybe before you go to sleep, try to write down what do you want to achieve in the following day. So when you wake up, you have a clear focus, a clear vision, you have a clarity basically. Otherwise, you wake up, you waste maybe half an hour scrolling on Instagram. It happens to me as well sometimes. But when you know what you want to do in that particular day, you'll feel a bit stressed, a bit forced to do those things, because that's the human condition. When you are programmed to get something done within a couple of hours, couple of days, basically you set yourself some deadlines, you'll be more effective and you'll be more productive, and I think that helps as well in the long run. Yeah, I think that's it. I think briefly that's what I'm trying to do on a daily basis to improve myself. Hope that answered the question. And now, last one, which is a bit of a nasty one, is thoughts on AI. Now, if you don't know what AI means, it's basically artificial intelligence. Now, I don't think, if you follow me on Instagram, I hope you do. My Instagram is here, by the way. I've been watching 2 very interesting movies. First, The Matrix, and second one, Interstellar. Now, both of them have more or less the same concept behind them, and that is, they are trying to come up with similar theories in which the universe might be different. Maybe there are more different universes, maybe there are parallel universes, maybe we're all living in a simulation, whatever. And what does that have to do with AI? What the hell, right? Now, if you watched the Joe Rogan and Elon Musk interview, man, if you haven't watched that one, stop whatever you are doing tonight and go and watch that one. It's gonna be the second link in the description. I really highly recommend that for everyone. It's 3 hours, you don't have to watch it in one sitting, make it 1 week, whatever, what works for you, but you have to watch that one. And why? Because Alan speaks a little bit about AI and he gives his opinion on AI, and it's quite frightening, mostly because he is one of the only ones who actually realizes what could happen if we actually give all the information and all the data basically to an AI system. I mean, man, I've been watching a couple of videos the last couple of days. Saturday night I went to sleep at 6 in the morning. I've been watching all of these videos about AI, about what could happen, different theories. Basically, the most frightening thing for me personally is that everyone has an opinion, right? Elon Musk has his opinion. Interstellar movie gives some kind of an opinion, some kind of an idea. Everything comes together after all, and that's the most frightening thing. Like, when everyone has their different ideas, you might say that that guy might be crazy, that guy might be on some drugs or anything else, right? You can't really believe them. But when everybody's more or less on the same line in terms of their opinion on AI, their opinion on what's gonna happen in the next 50 years, and everyone is basically telling us that we either gonna collapse as humanity, or we have to merge with the AI, which is gonna be very it's too complex to even describe it because I don't have the research to talk about it. But yeah, I think my thoughts on it are not good at all. I just started to believe that the best times to be alive are now. Like, starting from, let's say, not pre-internet, but pre-social media, so 2007, 2006, from then till like maybe 2030, maybe earlier, maybe a bit later. I think these are the best years to be alive and to make something happen. Because afterwards we might collapse, everything might change in a bad or a good way. Don't know, nothing is clear, but I just think that we have to do the most of now. And with that said, this was the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I was planning to actually have it live today, which is Tuesday, the 16th of October, but I'm not quite sure if I will be able to. If I will, then God bless me. So yeah, who is God, by the way? Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed. Give it a like, a comment, and forgive me if I clickbait the video, because I will. See you in the next one. Bye.